Hey everyone, welcome to Kiznaiver Review. I'm gonna just basically give you a rundown of the series and yeah, where it came from and all that. But so I guess you got to start off with this is Trigger's like one of Trigger's new shows. They're also running this and another show at the same time, but one was Space Patrol Luluco, which is a little bit wackier, a little bit sillier. The animation style is even kind of reminds you of Panty Stocking as far as like there aren't generic designs we're used to. Not like there's a more like I guess they're silly designs, but that show is more silly. Kiznaiver, on the other hand, is more of a serious tone show, written by Mario Okada, which most people know her as the Anohana lady that she wrote that series and a bunch of other shows, and she kind of I guess her thing is like dramatic stuff, characters that are put through emotional, physical, all those kind of stuff as far as her writing style goes. And usually there's a little bit of romance thrown in there just to, I guess, spice things up. And with her writing style, you can kind of, most of her shows are sort of similar. This one is very similar to like maybe kind of Anohana, where every character has a issue somewhat in their character and like secrets they're hiding from everybody. And this series did a real good job. I don't think of that and exploring that, but the overall theme was kind of sort of being connected because if you don't know what Kiznaiver, what the meaning is, it's I guess a science experiment that connects you to a bunch of different people. That when you feel pain, everyone in this group feels pain, and you have like 8 characters connected together. Well, they only revealed 7 in the beginning. 8 they added in episode 3 when they had to find Himosu, whatever. He's kind of this guy who like gets off when being hurt, like having pain inflicted on him. I guess he likes that. So putting him in this group, which is a group of kids that a lot of them, especially Agata, the main guy, who cannot feel any pain whatsoever. So putting him with Himitsu was kind of weird that you have that guy who can't feel pain, and a guy who likes the pain. So you had them kind of like it's kind of scary putting some guy like that in there. You think that he would just be constantly hurting himself, and sort of did, but he kind of got off that very fast. So I guess while I'm talking about the characters, we may as well talk about the rest of them. Like again, Agata is the one that kind of has his past with Sonozaki, the blue-haired girl, that with their children, he slowly starts remembering that he was part of the original experiment, and I'll get into that a little later with her. Again, Himosu, he kind of like gets like likes pain and all that. Hanukkah is the kind of serious girl that doesn't really want any friends right at this point. She has a pretty tragic past that she claims she killed someone, her friend, but they do reveal a little bit later on that with her that it wasn't really her fault technically. That you know her friend killed herself, it was due to other things. And I guess she couldn't really get over that hump of that feeling. Next, Nico, kind of this outrageous, hyperactive girl that does reveal later, but I think episode 2, actually, that all this is an act. That she just wanted to stand out, and boy, I would say she does stand out because she is quite, the treat of the series. I would say, for me anyway, I connected with her because she is very hyper and very fun. I like that character, but obviously, since this was an emotional series, or dealing with all that, yeah, we could have probably saw through it. That all that was fake. Her acting weird, dressing weird, is just a way to stand out. But yeah, then you have Sonozaki, obviously the blue-haired girl who is very quiet, doesn't have any emotions, and I'll talk about her a little bit later. But she's kind of like the head of this experiment trying to get this Kiznaiver system off the ground, claiming to use it for world peace, which I didn't think that would be possible at the beginning, but as you go through the series, you can kind of see what they're aiming for. You Chidori is the redhead girl who has a crush on Agata, but he doesn't see her that way. He just sees her as a childhood friend, is what she is. And he doesn't really act on it, but he does get in trouble a little bit later. I think episode 8 and 9, he's the real episodes where he has to finally, decide. But he really doesn't decide who he likes. So yeah, Chidori's kind of a weird character. I liked her, but she's yeah. Tenga kind of is like the rough guy who's not afraid to fight people for anything. He just he doesn't mind picking a fight. He can hold his own, I guess. So he's kind of interesting character. He mostly hangs around Agata the first couple episodes, but he's a pretty good character. Yuta is, I don't know what you call it, maybe the playboy. All the girls at school like him. They think he's, this model type character. He's got his magnetism to him, and all these girls just are attracted to him immediately. So it's pretty funny. But a little bit later on, you learn that he used to be a very overweight child, so he is very conscious about his weight. So if you bring up the fact that he was fat, which Nico does by accident, playfully, not trying to be a bully, but they see a poster of him as a kid. He was a spokesperson for this area, whatever you want to call it, and he got made fun of for being fat. So that's his thing. And as supports, you have Matsuri and Yamada, which Yamada's like the teacher at the school, but secretly he's part of the Kiznaiver system. He used to be a scientist back in the day with Mitsuri, who's I guess idolizes Sonozaki. She just looks like really wants to protect her, and she's got these two characters kind of. I thought they were bad guys at the beginning, but slowly but surely near the end, you figure out they're not really bad. They're just trying to correct the mistakes they did in the past. So yeah. And jumping to like the main theme of the series, being connected. Obviously, like I said, the Kiznaiver system lets you feel pain through, being connected with others, and that's kind of the main theme of this. And I thought at the beginning, if it just it's gonna be limited to just physical pain, but it also gets down to emotional pain, heartache, emotional like you like someone but they won't return the feelings. Everyone else in the group gets to feel that in some episodes. So they did a good job on that. And I guess the emotional stuff happened like when they got to the training camp. It was just basically to get the Kiznaiver system to get the progress. I guess Sonozaki was gonna explain it where I took it as like there's different tiers of this system. The first being the pain, physical stuff. Second being like a tier two would be like the emotional side, and tier three was the final tier, being able to hear each other's thoughts. And I guess that is kind of weird for me. It's like, so that's when I kind of figured out they're going for something a little bit weird with that the kids system. But I think it's just in place to kind of give these kids a trial to go through. But yeah, so in this one episode, the training kind of liked when they got there, and you see the shot of like them all kind of going up this hill. They're basically kind of going camping, and then they kind of paired them off. It was kind of funny. We saw like Chidori and Tenga kind of walking together, and they had this like Tadora type setup where Chidori likes Agata, so Tenga was gonna help her get with him and all that, but they kind of didn't really do much with that. Sadly, I kind of wanted to do more, but that wasn't really the theme they're going for. And then you had the other groups. You obviously had Yuta and Hanako walking together, and then you had a weird one was like Nico and Homotsu, and I was kind of like, I don't think they would be a romantic couple because given how both characters are kind of out there, and so they're kind of showing you hints that they're pairing these people off two by two, and obviously Akata and Sonozaki were together too. And so, but that episode was kind of funny, just seeing them pair up. And that episode was the episode that unlocked the emotional stuff, because Chidori kind of ran away, and she was, I guess, going through a heartache of, Agata liking Sonozaki, and that kind of rubbed her the wrong way, because she likes him, obviously. And, so yeah, but actually the romantic person that Nico kind of likes, which caught me off by surprise, was Tenga. I didn't know that. They had an episode where, I guess it's a storm going off outside, and so the characters are kind of paired off again, and they revealed more that you know Nico actually likes Tenga, which I thought was kind of interesting. But again, they really didn't explore that much. It's more of like a side plot. And let's see what else. And they also heavily hinted that Agata and Sonozaki like each other, and they kind of did confirm that a bit later on. But Sonozaki they really didn't know how to react to all that because she's, you know, kind of closed off on everybody. Besides the romance stuff, which I don't really care too much for. I mean, it's nice sometimes. This show kind of handled it so-so. It was kind of thrown in there, I think, just to again spice things up. But obviously, if you have four girls, four guys that are gonna be spending a lot of time together, some things are gonna happen. Obviously, some feelings are gonna develop here and there. It's just nature, how it works, I guess. And again, with Mario Okada writing, she's kind of somewhat decent at that. If you follow her track record. To get to the mysteries, we had one mystery about, why was Sonozaki so gun ho about this Kizna system? Obviously, world peace is part of that puzzle. But also we get, I thought in the beginning the theory was she was trying to get her emotions back. Like she lost them in the first experiment, and now she's using these kids to maybe like have them go through these moments and stuff. Now she can kind of get take that from them, which I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, wow, how would that work? But they do reveal there later that's sort of true. She was, I guess, again part of the first experiment back in the day when she was a kid, and they brought a bunch of kids in there, but they kind of messed up. They connected her to like, I'm gonna just roughly guess, maybe 20 kids at once. I think it's less than that, but so anyway, the experiment was kind of going was malfunctioning, was wrong. So she began to take on all the pain of all those kids, even Agata back in the day, and it took a toll on her body, which is why she's taking drugs in some episodes. You see her kind of getting injected with something, and so yeah, it took a toll on her body, which obviously someone that young isn't good. And they do reveal a little bit later on that some of the kids that were connected to her at the time lost all emotion, lost all feeling, and basically kind of became vegetables as far as like comatose and all that. They're still able to move and like that, but they weren't able to like speak and do anything. So we had this scene, I guess, where they showed these four or five, probably I think more than that, maybe six kids that are like have white hair, just like Agata. So it kind of tells you that they're drained of everything. Maybe that's why, and obviously that's why Agata has white hair and he has little bits of brown because he kind of didn't take him over completely. So yeah, Sonozaki is I guess doesn't want that to happen ever again, and they did reveal a little bit later that uh, I guess when the scientists revealed that the Kizu system you're not supposed to be connected to it for more than like a couple of days because this happens. This is one of the side effects, and they kind of you know I guess that's what she was trying to do. And I think halfway through the series, her group that she was with, I think was trying to like I guess turned her away. They didn't the see the system being used very well. They're like, they didn't like where it was going, I guess, so they pulled out. So Sonozaka was kind of left by herself, and near the end, she kind of forces the system on like the entire city. Like half the people she kind of recruits, so forces by force, and the team is up to like they have to stop her and save the day. And I guess using the whole power of friendship, which is stupid. People hate that, but yeah, Hakata was able to like kind of talk to her and get kind of headbutt, and it was kind of funny. It was just weird, and she kind of I guess snapped out of it, and they fell off the bridge together, and he caught her, and it's just a weird ending. I would say, to me, I don't think the ending was that great. I kind of felt they could have done a little something differently, but given what happened, I guess it's fine. Besides that, the only other mystery we had was Hanukkah and her past about the girl Ryu, who they did this manga together about a Yuri couple, and I guess it got a little racy at some points, and I guess there's a kiss in the manga, and then something happened a little bit later on that I guess pushed her to. I'm not even sure how she died. I kind of forgot. I'm blanking on it, but yeah, I think it was maybe like heartache or something emotional got to her. I'm not sure. But yeah, Hanako, her story was the second mystery. No one else really had any mysteries besides Sonozaki, Agata, and maybe Chidori on who she liked. Who did she really like? And maybe we also had Tenga at the end of the series, kind of figuring out who he actually likes. He doesn't know if he likes Chidori and or Nico. It's kind of hard for him to decide, I guess. So, but I'm pretty sure he gets with Chidori because they're hanging out together at the mall, and it was just like Nico was being the best friend, not trying to get interfering with them. So she let them kind of do their thing, which was nice of her. Extra notes. I want to say the use of color in this series is pretty good, especially like red used later on to like I guess obviously red is alert or something like that, and the way they used it in like episode 9 when all the emotions are just running wild and there's so much rage in the in the air. Maybe that's what they used it for, to show you there's anger going on. So I guess that was maybe, and that was also the breaking point where the kids system was released from these kids. and they kind of were able to go to separate ways. The great use of the OST for the dramatic moments, I like that, how they used it at the right times. I would have loved to see more other characters' past explored, like Nico. Like, why does she? I mean, they kind of briefly explained it. I guess maybe you don't need in depth on her, and maybe something on Chidori and Tenga, and maybe the rest of the characters too. But I kind of guess that their stories wouldn't make very interesting episodes if they dove into like Nico's past or like why is she energetic? Well, they kind of explain why. But yeah, I would love to see maybe a little more exploration on the other characters. But again, I guess they probably really didn't have a lot to work with, considering Hanako was the only other one who got an in-depth mystery. 2, 3 episodes dedicated to her, I guess. But anyway, um, and there was a weird Anohana moment when the kids kind of visited the her parents' house, and her parents kind of freaked out what her mom did and told them to leave. That reminded me of Anohana when they try to visit Minwa's parents' house and she sees the kids and kind of gets mad and has this like breakdown, which I can understand. It's fine. I mean, you don't really want a bunch of kids that don't know your kid kind of hanging out like, oh, well, sorry for your loss, all that stuff. Romance was another point that was kind of used here and there, but not really fully explored. Maybe through maybe Sonozaki and Agata, the only two that actually, because they're the only two that actually hooked up in the series. We also had hints of Honoka and Yuta, but that was just hints. Nothing set in stone. But of course, since this will not get another season, it's kind of like, what's up in the air right now? And the last thing I will say is kind of a surprise to me that I didn't know that the lead singer, not singer, lead guitarist for Boom Boom Satellites, they said that this would be their last time making any music together as a group. So, because the lead guitarist, this is his third time going through, I guess, yeah, this is his third brain tumor. So he's got to, stop doing the music and kind of take a break because his health is important. So, yeah, this is the last time you'll be hearing Boom Boom Satellites do an opening, which is kind of sad because I like them. A lot of people probably don't like them because they're too techno pop, whatever. I like them because they always have sort of like energetic openings, and their music is just the same way I get too. So maybe I know they're gonna release a greatest hits like album on like their best songs and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And overall, just I'm kind of sad still, like I said. But yeah, so you won't be seeing Boom Boom Satellites as a group, so you might see some of their other members kind of spin off and do their own thing or join different groups, or maybe they're done for now. Who knows? But anyway, end thoughts would be I really like this series. It's, in my opinion, Trigger's best series. I know most people roll their eyes if I said something like that because, in their opinion, Trigger. I know a lot of people really have this kind of disgust of Trigger because they're not a well-known studio, and I'm just kind of, they're still kind of getting off the ground. I mean, I know they've had several series come out even before this. They had Kill la Kill, Inferno Cop, Ninja Slayer, and you have like that Battle High School thing they did, in Inu Battle they did that, and then now we have Kiznaiver and another show after that. But yeah, I honestly think this is Trigger's best show in tone-wise. It's not a wacky series, and I just think they did a really good job on it. Animations, high quality, good soundtrack. Like I said, good opening, good ending, nice visuals. It was just I don't remember there being any dip in animation. There maybe would have been some like facial expression that were kind of screwy looking, but that's with almost every show. But yeah, I think it's Trigger's best series so far. But I know it's not a perfect series. There are issues. Like I said, the romance was hit or miss. The Some of the mystery wasn't that great. Like I said, Hanukkah kind of got 3 episodes dedicated to her, which I kind of wanted more with others, but it's fine. And but yeah, I'm a Trigger. I guess you can't tell I'm a Trigger fanboy, so I tend to let some of this stuff slide when I deal with them because I know it's kind of a still somewhat small studio, but a lot of people don't think that's a good excuse, but whatever. And so yeah.